you still in Denver or Colorado
Yep,
specifically, or like, where you at?
still in
Yeah?
Colorado. How
What are
about you?
you
Are
up
you
to
still in Vegas?
now? No, I'm actually in California now.
Oh, sick. Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Um,
W
yeah, I know. So I just got done with the Boulder flip not too long ago. We went on the market. Um, the one I'm doing with Michael and Zasha. We went
Oh,
on the
that was a
market
rough
2
one,
months
wasn't it?
ago. Yeah, I
Was
mean, when I
Yeah,
hopped on board with them, which was pretty much a year ago now, the
yeah,
permit process wasn't started, nothing like that.
yeah.
So it's basically we're starting from scratch. But I mean, the process with the permits wasn't too bad with Boulder. We did a nice big rehab on it. It looks amazing. People love it. But it's been on
That's
the
good.
market for going on 60 days now. So we're trying to get
Okay.
things moving because the holding costs on that one has been so much for Michael and Zasha especially. The first
Yeah.
when they bought it was May 2022, and I wasn't even on board with them
Oh,
until
that's a long
October
time,
of
yeah.
2022. Yeah, so a long hold
Yeah.
time. But so that one was a big one, took up a lot of my time. Glad it's on the market, and even on the market, we had some water damage issues in the basement because
Yeah.
during one of our open houses, someone lifted up one of the downspouts, so it just flowed back into the foundation. So we had to go in there, rip up the carpet, replace the trim, and then redirect the downspout. So that was a little hiccup. We had to take it off the market for a couple of days, but other than that, it's been great. Hopefully, we're gonna get under contract this month. That's what I'm hoping for. But learned a lot on that one for sure. Probably
Yeah.
one of the biggest things I learned was the power of private money. I got to raise private money for the first time on this one. So Michael Zasa brought the down payment and partial of the rehab funding, and then I raised 120,000 myself. So first time doing that, that was fun. But it's my second overall flip, and then right now that I'm freed up from the Boulder property, I put in almost closed on one, but I had to back out of it. That was an on market property. And then I have two off market property leads. One of them's really, really hot. Sounds like she might actually accept my offer, which I'm literally going to be sending it to her right now after this.
Nice.
Um, so that one would be nice. Wouldn't need any permits for it because all the bathrooms and everything are in place. It'd be a quick 3 month turnaround. So that's my next step on that one. But I really want to dive into some wholesaling more full time. I've done a
Yeah.
couple here and there, but I haven't been able to really focus time to build the systems that I need to move forward on that.
Yeah. No, I've actually started to push more wholesaling now. Cause my flips are rough. Like just like you guys were experiencing, like hold times, extra. Um, Actually, I was pretty good on the rehab amounts, but it was like the hold times and like people buying it for so much less than the market. Just like went straight down.
Oh,
But
it's crazy.
yeah, it was very crazy. That was my first recession I lived through, and I've learned a lot for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
same, same.
yeah. I mean, is there anything I can help? Like, what do you think that you're trying to do right now? Is there anything I can help you with? You think?
Well, I'm actually curious, what are you doing on your wholesaling side of things? Because,
Yeah.
like I said, like I feel like I got the rehab side of things down pretty well.
Yeah.
Like if it comes across and there's an opportunity, like I'll definitely be able to move forward on it. Maybe the one thing I can do better is build more contacts for private money lending, which I'm trying to do. I've sat down and had lunch with a couple of people that I know in my network that have a lot of
Hmm.
money and kind of building that connection now. So when the time comes, I'll be ready for it. But like I said before, I don't really have a great idea of what kind of systems I should be focusing on for the wholesaling side of things. So I'm just curious to see what you do.
Like for finding deals?
Yeah, or wholesaling in general. Like, do you usually go the MLS way? Are you more off market? Text message marketing. What kind of marketing do you do and stuff like
For most of my wholesales specifically, it's been off market.
that? Okay.
I have wholesaled actually. Yeah, I've wholesaled on market, but I don't know. I don't like it as much. For me, I don't know. It's like a personal thing. I prefer buying on market. Most of my marketing's been cold calling. I've actually restarted that back up because for the past few years, my all my deals have been pretty much found like MLS, social media, relationships with like realtors or wholesalers, and I bought a lot of them.
Okay.
Now I'm like, all right, I don't want to buy right now. I'm not trying to flip right now. I'm trying like
Yeah.
really just want to wholesale. So I've actually relaunched my cold calling again, and that's what I'll be doing. Now, some people have better success cold calling, some people like texting.
Yeah.
I do think either are great if you want to wholesale though, because you're going right to the
Hmm.
seller, much easier. Um, and actually, since I started, it's been really nice. Like the calling itself,
Okay.
once you get over it, like right now, I started going live now on YouTube with my cold calling sessions because I can get clip content from it. And it was cool because right before this
Sure.
call, I was live for like 25 minutes, and I got a lead in those 25 minutes from it was from cold calling, like simple as that. And I'm like, this is
Really.
easy. Like, yeah, so um, as long as you got the systems in place, but what do you think you're gonna do, or have you started a marketing already?
So when I actually first started in the real estate game, I started out by cold calling. Um, and I was doing the cold calling myself. That's how I got my first three wholesales. So I feel like I'm really comfortable with that. Like if I was to
Yeah.
sit there myself, do cold calls, I feel like I could do it. But it would be nice to weed out the leads rather than just calling a list. And so that's why I'm almost thinking about doing, text message marketing to get the hot leads in, which I've also done in the past. But with text message marketing, it's hard to manage all those people responding and stuff. So
So
that's
many
where,
replies. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like I know people make the drip models and everything
Mhm.
to filter it out, but it's like something I haven't, really mastered yet, which I'm gonna have to do. But I've actually been thinking about doing the cold calling side of things, um, and that's kind of what my next step was gonna be. I have like three different lists with like 10,000 plus contacts, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's more just like, oh shit, like I got a lot of calls to be making. But I
Yeah,
like
dude,
what
like,
you
for
you were saying
sure.
about going live too, because that's something I thought about
Yeah.
doing. And I've seen people on TikTok, and I feel like it puts you in a vulnerable situation. Like you're putting yourself out there. Like if you
Yeah.
mess up on a call, it's going to be seen, or if you do well on a call, it's going to be seen too. So,
Yeah, no, everything's live for me. Actually, I don't know if I should have probably told you this, but this is live right now on the YouTube as well.
oh
So, like,
really?
this
Sick.
filters to YouTube. Yeah, so, um, also, like, if you did want to do that and, like, if you wanted to make content from it, I mean, is that something you're even thinking of right now?
No, 100%. It definitely is. Because
So,
I mean, that's
here's
one
what
of
I
the things I lack too.
yeah, here's what I do, man. It helps a lot. I actually just tested this out. So, let me share my screen of this thing. So basically, oh shit, once I record my live, I can essentially I use this is like an AI editor. It's called Opus. Basically,
Okay,
this is a live stream of mine. So I just streamed this like an hour ago, 30 minutes or
and it's
so.
already out.
It, yeah, it's out, and I input this thing into Opus, and it automatically makes clips, and they kind of look something like this.
All right. So we
So
are
they
live.
already automatically add subtitles and stuff, and
What?
they actually do pretty good, but then you have to go in
Hmm.
to edit, and it's super easy to edit it, man. Like you just have to like if you want these words erased, you just delete them, and then it deletes them on the video, and like you don't have to be an editor, so it's perfect for me. And I don't have
Wow.
to have my editing team because I used to pay like thousands a month, and now if I'm willing to put in the work, which it's not hard, I just have to make the time. Like totally worth it for me, man.
Does it
Oh,
create
what
those
you get?
topics and everything, like that number one
Yeah.
topic that was there?
Yeah. Yeah, and
Wow,
it ranks
that's
them by
crazy.
like yeah, by like hook score. So it tries to pull out a hook from your content, and it works only well for like talking heads, podcast, like we're face and talking.
Sure.
But dude,
So
it's nice.
that's awesome. That's awesome. What kind of camera setup do you have? Like, are you using an actual camera or do you have like a little webcam?
Oh no, it's an actual camera. So okay, this is actually I wish for content, and it might sound weird, but like I wish I got a good camera and a good lens at the very beginning because I feel like I wasted more
Mhm.
money on buying the cheaper cameras and like slowly growing up. So the
Yeah.
camera I use now, I mean, your camera actually doesn't matter that much as long as you can attach a lens to it, like an actual
Okay.
professional lens to it. So the camera doesn't matter, but I use a Sony A7 III. So
Okay. I have
that's the
the same
name of it.
camera.
Oh, sick. What kind of lens do
Yeah.
you have? Or like the
I
f-stop of
I
it
have
and
I think I have a 50 milliliter, and then I also
this
have a
way.
wide lens for actually like real estate photography
Yeah.
because
Okay, so
I was doing the flip.
my lens is 17 by 28 millimeter, and then
Okay.
f-stop 2.8. So
I think I
the
have that
lower
same
the
one.
oh, sweet, yeah. The lower the f-stop, the blurry the background gets if you go close. So, like,
Okay.
one f-stop's even better than what this looks like, but I was like, I didn't know what to do, and I just copied other people, so it does the job, so much better. I actually got this, like, a month ago, and it's way better
Nice.
than, like, my other camera 'cause the fact you just need something that it can zoom you out a lot so that when you
Mhm.
do, clip stuff, you're not like this. Like, you don't wanna look
Right,
awkward
right.
and be up super up
How close.
close.
Nice, nice. No, that's I like I said, that's something I've been wanting to do, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So if I'm gonna be making the cold calls, might as well. Like it's free content right there.
Yeah. No, exactly. Because I thought about that, I was like, "I could hire people," but I'm like, "I lost so much money, like, I really don't want to." I just wanna, like, do something where I can be efficient, and I'm good at it, and get some
Sure.
content out of it. Because that was the whole goal of mine.
So you do all the cold calling yourself then?
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
I actually
So
you
what
know
do
what?
you
It's kinda fun again. Go ahead.
no, no, I do like it. And when I was doing it in the past, like I'd always hype myself up like I'm gonna get 300 calls in, whatever it is, in a certain amount of time. So I definitely love it too. But where do you usually get your list, or what do you think has worked well for you as like far as list pulling?
I've just gotten them from PropStream, and then as far as the skip tracing, they're all kinda the same, like, whether you skip trace them
Sure.
from the 12-cent ones, or the super expensive ones, or the 3-cent ones, like, it's all kinda the same.
Okay.
So cheaper the better. Kind skip tracing's pretty
Mhm.
cheap, 3 cents a skip. I've used PropStream. I think I'm currently using the PropStream one because I actually had an old list, and I'm still calling even an old list, and I'm still getting leads from it. So, like, even if you had the 10K
Mhm.
records from before, like, it'll still work. You just gotta keep calling.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you gonna be
Um
using a dialer?
so I do have back dialer, but before when I was cold calling, I was actually just using my phone. So I have never
Yeah.
used the dialer yet.
Oh, you're gonna love it,
So
dude.
I got the dialer. I just haven't set it up yet.
Yeah.
I've always been curious because like I know they do three lines at once, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if that how does that work exactly? Like if they're calling
Yeah, yeah.
one line, are the other one just on hold? Like how does it work?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So, 3 line, essentially, yeah, you're calling 3 people at once, and let's say 2 of them answer. It's the first person who picks
Hmm.
up goes to you. The other person, it, like, just cuts the call off immediately, or I think everyone might be a little bit different, and then
Okay.
the dialer will have you call them back, like, after or later on.
Okay.
So that's how it works, and essentially, whenever that happens, like, you answer one and the other one is we call it abandoned. Then
Okay.
you have to start measuring, like, we call in your dialer will have it. It's like an abandonment rate. 'Cause you don't wanna miss too many calls because you're calling so many lines. Like, mine goes
Mhm.
up to 12 lines, but I'm not using 12 lines because 'cause I'll abandon so many calls. Um,
Okay.
a sweet spot is often, like, 3 line. That's why it's so popularized.
Sure.
But you can mess with it, like, you can test with it and see, like, "Oh, what if I go to 4 lines, 5?" I don't know what batch capabilities are. And it to
What do
give you some
you use?
perspective, Ready Mode. It used to be ZenCall.
Ready mode? Okay.
Yeah. It's actually not very user friendly, but once you learn it and go through their trainings, it's, like, really good.
Okay.
Yeah, to give you some perspective on the dialer thing, like, I think I was on pace, I was doing, like, 50 it was doing 50 dials on a three-line dialer for 5 minutes, so it's roughly, like, 300 dials every 30 minutes, like, it's a lot.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, that's why I'm like, it'll make I swear it'll make a difference, and if you grinded it on the phone, which I did before, I used to, do this and then call. If you did that,
Hmm.
you will love the dialer, and you'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna" like, you're gonna make money way faster,
Yeah.
promise.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely gonna have to do that. So when you do these lists, like, are you calling properties in like California, or do you have like a specific state you like to try to get deals in?
No, for me, it's, just Fresno, California, just my market. It's been my
Okay.
market for years.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
And
Do you
then
have a
as
specific
far as
city
the
you're going for?
honestly, Colorado, I've had a lot of
Yeah.
success
Yeah.
there. I mean, I've had in 2 years, I think I've gotten five wholesales and two flips so far. So
Yeah.
it's been good to me. And I know a lot about it. I mean, I I can, and if I have to see a property, I can drive there, so it's really nice as well. Um,
Heck yeah.
but I was gonna ask, as far as your list for motivation, do you have like specific motives you go for, or distress signs, anything like that?
Um At the beginning, yeah. Right now, I'm just calling a high equity list. Now, I think
Okay.
if you're in the position you're like, I want to find a deal as fast as humanly possible all the time, or like
Hmm.
just to find something, you can literally what is it called? Like overlap a bunch of lists to where you have like 20 people. Like in Colorado, I'm
Sure.
sure you filter it enough to like, yeah, this I like this, I like this, I like this. You'll have a list of like 50 people, and you just like
Yeah.
attack it. Like that would probably be like the cheapest way for sure to find a
Okay.
deal fast instead of going massive. But right now, I'm going massive.
Okay.
Like I have 26,000 people we're calling right now on this list.
Jeez, that's crazy. Yeah, no, that list of 10,000, I, I'm hoping one day like Fast Leads and Prop Screen will allow you to filter by zoning. So I actually made this list myself. It's a list of 10,000 and it's all specific zoning in Denver because you get into a certain radius of Denver and there's like super high development going on, specifically
Hmm.
like multifamilies, sometimes single families, but a lot of it is down to the zoning. Like that's all the developers care for is the zoning and then the size of the lot. So most of my wholesale deals have been to developers. So that's like my best buyer list. So I figured I would just write down every zoning for at least zone for duplex to fourplex zonings. So I got every single one of those, and then I'm gonna go and
Whoa, that's
do
interesting.
stack the list where maybe there's people that have high equity or pre foreclosure stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
So
interesting. I didn't know most of your buyers are developers. That sounds hard, like to get like defined. How is that? You just in a construction background or?
yep, I'm in a construction
Uh,
background. The business I'm in now that I still have is energy efficiency. So I mean I do test for builders all the time. And a lot of my clients, like I just ask them questions about their build costs, what they look for, stuff like that. And that's how I ended up getting into it. So I just kind of worked my way back, figured out what they wanted, called the people, and then sold it to them. So, and then they know me. So they work pretty well with me.
Sweet, dude. No, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
And is that what you're
Yeah.
still
But
wanting to do right now, or are you wanting to attack like just all homes, or like you have a different kind of target?
I think all homes. Like I want
Yeah.
to have the experience of building a buyer's list for, flippers, long-term rental holders, Airbnbers, stuff like that. Because I feel like I have that builder's list pretty stacked when I need it, but I don't really have a long contact list for other flippers and everything. Only people I've worked with, basically.
That
So
makes sense. Do you have anyone
yeah.
big in your market that wholesales a lot?
Yeah, I do know. I had lunch with this kid that's based in like northern Colorado. He buys rentals in Kansas, but he does a lot of flips. And I mean, I always see him posting stuff on Facebook. But some of the leads he has, the number, even when I look at the numbers for like the rehab and stuff, they don't seem accurate to me, especially
Yeah.
like having that experience. So I'm like, I don't even know how he's able to move some of those deals. I'm like, I don't know who's buying those, but I mean, it's
Well,
not something I would buy.
yeah, the reason why I ask is because, like, for example, in my market, we have a guy that's like, this is his specialty. He wholesales a lot. He partners a lot because he became known as the guy who built a massive buyers list and a really strong
Hmm.
buyers list. So I know for me, if I try to wholesale something, I can't find a buyer. I can just go to him like, hey, like, can I just bring this to you? Like, you handle it, and like, we'll split some profits. And he's like, yeah, every
Like a
like,
JV.
it's nice. So I was like, if you have someone like that and you don't even want to worry, and you can just focus on your marketing, that could be an option too.
Yeah, no, and I would be all for that. So I didn't even, I mean, I've thought about that before, but definitely something to keep in the back burner if I ever feel like I have a deal that I can't get off my hands.
Yeah, man. How are you doing, like, personally, life-wise? Because I know, things got rough. They definitely got rough for me during the hard times in that, like, downturn. Like, how are you doing personally?
Things are going great. I mean, my
Okay.
first deal so I just joined the program a little over a year ago, and I got a deal like right after the mastermind, and my partner ended up screwing me over, so that was rough. My partner screwed me over. I didn't get paid at the end of the deal, and I had a lot of credit card debt from the project. So it took 6 months for me to actually end up settling with him, but in that amount of time, I held a balance for a long period of time, so my credit score wasn't that great. So, and I honestly just started learning about the power of business credit, which is something I really want to dive deeper in. I actually joined a program called credit stacking. Ryan Pineda
Hmm.
has the owner of it on his podcast. Um, but I think it's really valuable and people can really take advantage of it. But it starts with like your credit score. So I've been able to build that back up, which I feel a lot better about, and I'm glad that I was able to settle with that first lawsuit on my first one.